what gave you the vote of confidence to pick up and start your business over in a new area?
Oh, honestly, and I'm not trying to be a commercial for Espresso Agent, but truly having Espresso Agent, I knew without a doubt that I could rebuild my business, especially not knowing anyone in the area and having to learn a new area and everything. So it's just been a blessing for sure. And the greatest advantage that I have to help me start rebuilding my business.
Hi, I'm Noelle with today's Brew, where top producing real estate agents share their tips and tricks on taking more listings, making more money, and having fun doing it. On today's episode, we welcome Layna Jarvis from the Greater Nashville, Tennessee area. Hi, Layna. How are you?
Hi, Noelle. I'm great. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Let's talk some real estate. So you have been in the business a while, but now you're in Nashville, but you were not originally from Nashville. So tell us a little bit of how you got your career started and where were you?
I've been in the industry a long time, 25, 30 years. I started out in Utah, had a very thriving business there. And a couple years ago, I came to Nashville, and after being here 3 days, I just felt like this is where I needed to be. And last fall, things came together, and here I am, starting over, ground zero, brand new business, not knowing anyone. So
now, obviously, that can have some challenges of its own. What gave you the vote of confidence to pick up and start your business over in a new area?
Oh, honestly, and I'm not trying to be a commercial for Espresso Agent, but truly having Espresso Agent, I knew without a doubt that I could rebuild my business, especially not knowing anyone in the area and having to learn a new area and everything. So it's just been a blessing for sure. And the greatest advantage that I have to help me start rebuilding my business.
Yeah, to restart. Okay, so let's talk a bit about what you do on a daily basis. When you get up in the morning, how does your prospecting start? Do you have affirmations in the morning, or what's your morning routine, your non-negotiables?
I love that. Well, my morning routine, I'm recently trying to start that the night before. So at 10, I told myself I'm going to be in bed at 10 o'clock at night, do some affirmations, some meditation. And I read something recently the other day, just say, as you're drifting off to sleep, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I do that. I get up about 5:30 in the morning. And kind of a crazy, weird, I don't know. I get up, I get my coffee going, I take the dog out, come back in, and I do about a 10-minute meditation. And by that time, my coffee's done percolating on the stove, the old-fashioned way. It tastes like espresso. And then I write gratitudes and affirmations and handwritten thank you note cards and stuff like that while I'm having my coffee. That takes about an hour for me to just settle in and get my morning going. And then I jump in the shower, and the whole time I'm in the shower and getting ready, which is about another hour, I'm listening to positive things like Jack Canfield, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, Marissa Peer. I just started listening to her. She's fantastic. And then about a half an hour of that, and then I hop on and I listen to Jackie Kravitz. I love listening to her right before I start hopping on the phones, and I am on the phone at 8 o'clock. So if I'm not ready to go out the door at 7:30 and get to the office, then I stay at home in the morning and I call until about 10:30, take a break, take the dog back out, and then I go to the office. And if I don't have an appointment, I call expireds in the morning. When I run out of the fresh new expireds for the day, I call FSBOs and just call until I get an appointment. If I don't have an appointment by about 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon, then I've made a deal with myself that I will just go knock doors. I'll go knock physical
Yeah.
doors. So,
Yeah.
and I hate that. But I'm tired at that time of the day and I need to change of pace, but I want to keep prospecting if I don't
Yeah. And you're
have any
tapping
questions.
into all your resources. And like you said, it won't, if you're tired like that, sitting in the chair and getting on the phone again might not be very motivating, but knocking on doors is great. So are you using scripts when you're making these phone calls or even knocking on doors?
Absolutely both. So I use the espresso scripts that are either on the launch platform that we do on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Jackie scripts also that she talks about on Thursdays. I always do a script regardless of what I'm doing. Even when I'm going to a listing, I have a listing presentation script and I just print it off and I just tell my clients, I'm like, I'm a checklist girl. So as we go through and I talk about things with you, I'm going to check this off. And I don't know how people don't use a script. I don't know why they don't. I can't understand why someone would be adverse to using a script, because when we're watching TV and movies and stuff, every single actor is using a script.
Mm-hmm.
If they ad-libbed, it would be awful.
Yes. And it kind of keeps you in charge of the conversation if you're able to have the script and circle back. Because sometimes, we all get a little flighty, or our potential client is going to take us down a rabbit hole, and then you don't even know what you've talked about anymore.
Exactly. And that's why I started using a script on listing presentations as well. But I've been doing this a long time. I've been with Espresso Agent maybe a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
but this is weird. I get nervous almost every single call, but having that script there and then having all the objection handlers and everything just makes it so much better.
You said that you start your days off with Jackie Kravitz, and I was fortunate enough to have her on today's Brew recently. And I asked her about role playing, and pretty much she said there is never too much role playing. So what is your role play schedule? Are you in some mastermind groups or have accountability partners? And how are you staying in control of memorizing your scripts?
I love that question. I do role play a couple of mornings with one of the Espresso agents. He's also my accountability partner for knocking doors. So our deal is, for me, I said, I don't care what you do, but I'm just going to text you if I have to go out and knock doors. He'll hold me to it.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure why I don't role play every day, but I have an acting background. So I have been using scripts since I was 12 years old. So it's not a big deal for me to memorize a script.
Yeah.
So
it's easier. Good for you. You can internalize them easier than other people can.
Well, and this might be kind of a side note, but I would recommend to anybody who is having a challenging time memorizing their scripts, take an acting class. I don't know, take an acting class for no other purpose other than that.
I've heard of this. I've been to coaching programs where I have heard that agents got like a tonality coach to learn how to speak on the phone and in front of people. So that's quite reasonable for what you're saying. I totally hear you on that. As far as objection handling, what are you hearing these days when you're calling about expired?
Mostly I'm hearing, I've got a lot of calls from you agents. So I just laugh and I'm like, I'm glad other people are working. And then I go right on to the next.
Oh, perfect. That is a good way to say it. Well, I'm glad everyone's out there working today.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, goodness. Well, what is your goal for this year?
Oh my gosh. I set my goal so high, ridiculously high. So I set my goal to make 600K GCI. So $600,000 GCI. I have never done that before. However, and I don't know if I'll do it this year. I really believe, for me anyway, I set my goal super high and I'm okay if I only get halfway there, if I miss a high goal. It's
halfway to 600 is not too bad.
It's pretty high for here. But I've hit 50,000 a couple of months in a row, not recently, but in Utah, because I've only been here since August. So, but if I can hit 50,000 a couple of months in a row, I can figure out how to be consistent with that. And honestly, that was because of Espresso Agent that I was able to do that.
Well, I love it. How many transactions is that? Is 50K for you in your area?
About 40 in the areas I work in.
40 for 600,000. Okay.
One side. So one side 40.
Yeah, you can do it. Well, you've set an amazing goal for yourself this year. And if you stay on track, and even like you said, if you hit halfway, 3/4, a quarter of it, you're doing fabulous, especially in a new area. What would be some key advice that you would give newer agents, or agents that may just be stagnant in their day-to-day activities?
I would say the most important thing you can do is make sure you set a good regular morning routine. Always do your affirmations and gratitudes, and always meditate every day, bar none. That may sound crazy, but and one
it
of
all
the
starts in the mind.
It does, because mindset is top priority. Whether we think we can or we think we can't, we're right. It's so true. And then another thing is just handwrite notes. It doesn't matter who you handwrite the note to. And you can write the same thing in every note. Hey, I was thinking about you. Have a great day. And then stick your card in there.
Perfect.
Everybody loves a handwritten note.
They do. You're right. When it's not a bill in the mailbox, everyone's excited.
And another little thing with the handwritten note. So I've teamed up with a cupcake place here in Nashville, and I did this also in Utah. And so it's a business, my business information on one side, and on the other side, it's for 2 free cupcakes. And then the owner just charges me $2 for or $4, I think, for every time somebody brings that in.
Oh.
But not only do I put my business card in, I put that little gift in. So it's not just a solicitation for business.
Yeah. How cute. Oh my gosh. That's a lovely idea. I love that, Layna. Wow. How cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, and best of luck hitting your goal. I think you can do it now that you've learned the streets of Nashville. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Noelle.